First contact. The vast expanse of space stretched out before Captain Elena Reyes as she stood on the bridge of the UES Horizon, humanity's most advanced exploration vessel. The stars twinkled like distant beacons, beckoning her crew further into the unknown. Elena's dark eyes scanned the holographic displays surrounding her, each one providing crucial data about their current position in uncharted space. "Captain," called out Lieutenant Zhang, his voice tinged with excitement. "We're picking up an anomalous energy signature. It's like nothing we've ever seen before." Elena's heart raced as she moved to Zhang's station, studying the readouts with intense focus. After months of uneventful space, this could be the breakthrough they've been hoping for. "Can you pinpoint the source?" she asked, her voice steady despite the anticipation building within her. Zhang's fingers danced across the holographic interface, refining the sensor data. "It's coming from a system about 2 light-years away. The energy output is massive. Whatever it is, it's not natural." A hush fell over the bridge as the implications sank in. They might be on the verge of humanity's first contact with an advanced alien civilization. Elena took a deep breath, weighing her options carefully. Their mission was to explore and make peaceful contact if possible, but they had to proceed with caution. "Helm, set a course for the source of that energy signature," Elena commanded. "Lieutenant Zhang, I want continuous scans of the area. If there's anything out there, I want to know about it before we stumble into it." As the horizon changed course, Elena retreated to her ready room. She needed a moment to gather her thoughts and prepare for what could be the most significant event in human history. The room's view screen showed the stars streaking by as they traveled at faster-than-light speeds, a sight that never failed to fill Elena with wonder. She activated her personal communication device, connecting to the ship's AI assistant. "Aria, give me everything we have on first contact protocols and xenolinguistics. We need to be prepared for any scenario." "Certainly, Captain," the AI's soothing voice responded. "I've compiled the relevant information and sent it to your personal device. Would you like me to summarize the key points?" "Please do," Elena replied, settling into her chair. As Aria began her summary, Elena's mind raced with possibilities. What kind of beings would they encounter? Would they be peaceful or hostile? How advanced would their technology be compared to humanity's? The questions were endless, but Elena knew she had to focus on the immediate task at hand, ensuring the safety of her crew while attempting to establish peaceful contact. 2 days later, the horizon dropped out of FTL on the outskirts of an unfamiliar solar system. The bridge crew held their breath as the main view screen came to life, revealing a breathtaking sight. A massive space station orbited a gas giant, its sleek, organic design unlike anything humanity had ever constructed. Surrounding the station were dozens of smaller vessels, their hulls shimmering with an otherworldly iridescence. "My God," whispered Commander Jackson, Elena's second-in-command. "It's beautiful." Elena nodded in agreement, but her military training kept her focused on the potential threats. "Tactical, what's our status? Any sign they've detected us?" Lieutenant Kira Volkov, the ship's tactical officer, studied her displays intently. "No apparent weapons lock, Captain, but wait, we're being scanned. Multiple frequencies, incredibly detailed. They definitely know we're here." Before Elena could respond, the main view screen flickered, and a new image appeared. The bridge crew gasped collectively as they found themselves face to face with an alien being. Its body was vaguely humanoid, but with striking differences. Its skin was a pale, luminescent blue, and its eyes were large, multifaceted orbs that seemed to shimmer with intelligence. When it spoke, its voice was a melodious combination of tones that somehow translated directly into the crew's minds. "Greetings, travelers," the alien said, its mental voice carrying a sense of curiosity and caution. "We are the Zorens. You have entered the space of the Galactic Concordat. Identify yourselves and state your purpose." Elena stepped forward, her training kicking in despite the surreal nature of the situation. "I am Captain Elena Reyes of the United Earth Ship Horizon. We come in peace, seeking to explore and establish friendly relations with other intelligent life forms. The Zorens' multifaceted eyes seemed to study Elena intently. Humans, it said, the mental voice now tinged with a mix of fascination and concern. We have heard whispers of your kind, but this is our first direct contact. Your arrival is unexpected. Elena sensed an undercurrent of tension in the alien's words. We apologize if we've caused any alarm. Our intentions are peaceful. We would be honored to learn more about your civilization and share information about our own. The Zoran was silent for a moment, its eyes shifting in a way that suggested internal communication. When it spoke again, its mental voice was more formal. Captain Reyes, the Galactic Concordat extends an invitation for you and a small delegation to board our station. We have much to discuss. As Elena agreed to the meeting, she couldn't shake the feeling that there was more going on than a simple first contact scenario. The Zorans' reaction to humans suggested a complex political situation that they were stepping into blindly. Hours later, Elena found herself leading a small team onto the alien space station. The interior was a marvel of biotechnology, with living walls that pulsed with energy and corridors that seemed to shift and adapt to their presence. Their Zoran guide, who introduced itself as San, led them to a large chamber where representatives of several alien species waited. The diversity of life forms was staggering. Some were vaguely humanoid, while others were so alien that Elena struggled to comprehend their biology. But all eyes were on the human delegation as they entered, a mix of curiosity, wariness, and something Elena couldn't quite identify in their gazes. A tall, regal-looking being with crystalline skin stepped forward. "Welcome, humans," it said, its mental voice resonating with authority. "I am High Counselor Zara of the Galactic Concordat. Your arrival has caused quite a stir among our member species." Elena bowed slightly, remembering her diplomatic training. "Thank you for your welcome, High Counselor. We're honored to be here and eager to learn about your alliance." Zara's crystalline features shifted in what might have been a smile. "Your eagerness is noted, Captain. However, we must address a matter of great importance. Your species' sudden appearance in this sector of space is troubling." Elena felt a chill run down her spine. "Troubling? I'm afraid I don't understand. We've only recently developed the technology for deep space exploration." The High Counselor's mental voice took on a grave tone. "Captain Reyes, there is much you do not know about the galaxy and your place in it. Humans were once a part of this Concordat, long ago. But your species was deemed too dangerous, too unpredictable. You were quarantined on your homeworld, your memories of the wider galaxy erased." The revelation hit Elena like a physical blow. She struggled to process the implications, her mind reeling with questions. How could this be possible? Why were humans considered so dangerous? And most importantly, what did this mean for their future in the galaxy? As Elena grappled with these questions, she realized that this first contact was far more complex and potentially dangerous than she could have ever imagined. The fate of humanity now rested on her shoulders, and she would need every ounce of her training, intelligence, and diplomatic skill to navigate the treacherous waters ahead. The chamber fell silent as the weight of Zara's words settled over the human delegation. Elena's mind raced, trying to reconcile this shocking information with everything she thought she knew about human history. She glanced at her team, seeing the same mix of disbelief and confusion on their faces. I'm not sure I understand," Elena said carefully, fighting to keep her voice steady. "Are you saying that humans have been deliberately isolated from the rest of the galaxy? Why? And how is it possible that we have no memory of this?" Zara's crystalline form shimmered, a sign of what Elena interpreted as discomfort. "It is a long and complex history, Captain Reyes, one that spans millennia. Your species' potential for both great creativity and great destruction was deemed too volatile for the stability of the Concordat. The decision to quarantine Earth was not made lightly." Commander Jackson stepped forward, his face flushed with anger. "With all due respect, High Counselor, you're telling us that our entire civilization has been manipulated, that our history, our achievements, everything we know about ourselves is a lie. A ripple of unease passed through the gathered alien representatives. San, the Zoran guide, intervened, its mental voice soothing. Not a lie, Commander. Your achievements are your own. But yes, the context of your existence has been curated. Elena held up a hand to calm Jackson, though she shared his frustration. She needed to maintain diplomacy if they were to learn more and navigate this unprecedented situation. High Counselor Zara, I understand this is a complex issue with a long history. But surely you can see that from our perspective, this is a shocking and potentially threatening revelation. What are your intentions now that we've broken our quarantine? Zara's crystalline form shifted, refracting light in mesmerizing patterns. That, Captain Reyes, is precisely what we must decide. Your presence here represents a significant breach of long-standing galactic policy. Some members of the Concordate, Zora's gaze swept across the chamber, believe that more drastic measures must be taken to contain the human threat. Elena felt her blood run cold at the implication. Drastic measures? Surely you don't mean. The extinction of your species has been proposed. A new voice interjected. Elena turned to see a being composed of what looked like living smoke, its form constantly shifting and roiling. It would be regrettable, but the safety of the Concordat must be preserved. Murmurs of agreement rippled through some of the gathered aliens, while others seemed to recoil at the suggestion. Elena's mind raced, realizing that the fate of humanity might well be decided in this very chamber. Now, let's not be hasty, Exan said, its multifaceted eyes darting nervously between the humans and the other aliens. The humans have shown remarkable progress since their isolation. Perhaps there is a way to integrate them into the Concordat peacefully. Elena seized on this lifeline. San is right. Whatever happened in the past, we're here now, and we come in peace. We've developed our own unique culture, technologies, and ways of thinking. Surely that has value. We could contribute to the Concordat in ways you might not have anticipated. High Counselor Zara seemed to consider this, its crystalline form pulsing with internal light. Your words have merit, Captain Reyes, but the danger you represent cannot be ignored. Your species' capacity for violence, for disrupting the delicate balance we've worked millennia to achieve, is well documented. But so is our capacity for compassion, for innovation, for solving problems in unique ways. Elena countered, her voice growing more passionate. Yes, we have flaws. We've made mistakes. But we've also created art that can move the soul, music that can inspire, and scientific discoveries that have unlocked the secrets of our universe. Are you really willing to extinguish all of that potential based on ancient history? The chamber fell silent as Elena's words hung in the air. She could see the alien representatives exchanging glances, some nodding in agreement, others still skeptical. It was a pivotal moment, and Elena knew she had to press her advantage. Give us a chance, she pleaded, looking each alien in the eye, or what she assumed were eyes. Let us prove ourselves. If you're worried about the threat we pose, then work with us. Help us understand our place in the galaxy. Guide us towards being the kind of species that can contribute positively to your Concordat. High Counselor Zara's form shimmered as it considered Elena's words. After what felt like an eternity, it spoke. Your argument is compelling, Captain Reyes. Perhaps there is wisdom in caution, but also in opportunity. I propose a compromise. Elena held her breath, acutely aware that the future of humanity hung on Zara's next words. We will not take drastic action against Earth, Zara continued, causing Elena to release a sigh of relief. Instead, we will establish a probationary period. Your ship and crew will serve as representatives of humanity, undergoing a series of trials and evaluations. Your performance will determine the fate of your species. The smoking alien form roiled in agitation. This is too great a risk. We cannot. Zara held up a crystalline appendage, silencing the protest. The decision is made. Captain Reyes, Do you accept these terms on behalf of humanity? Elena looked at her team, seeing the weight of responsibility in their eyes. They all knew the stakes. With a deep breath, she turned back to Zara and nodded. We accept, High Counselor. We won't let you down. As the meeting adjourned and the human delegation was escorted back to their ship, Elena's mind whirled with the enormity of what had just transpired. They had come seeking first contact and instead found themselves thrust into a high-stakes game of interstellar politics with the very existence of humanity hanging in the balance. Back aboard the Horizon, Elena addressed her crew, her voice steady despite the turmoil within. We've been given a chance, she said, looking each crew member in the eye. A chance to prove that humanity deserves a place among the stars. The tasks ahead will be challenging, unlike anything we've faced before, but I have faith in each and every one of you. Together, we'll show the Galactic Concordat what humans are truly capable of. As her words were met with determined nods and resolute expressions, Elena felt a glimmer of hope. Whatever trials lay ahead, she knew that human ingenuity, adaptability, and spirit would be their greatest assets. The journey that had begun as a mission of exploration had become something far more profound, a fight for the very future of their species. With the stars twinkling beyond the viewscreen and the alien space station looming nearby, the crew of the Horizon prepared for the greatest challenge humanity had ever faced. The next chapter in their species' history was about to be written, and they were determined to make it one of triumph against all odds. The Quantum Gambit. The UVS Horizon hung in space like a glittering jewel, its hull reflecting the light of an alien sun. Inside, Captain Elena Reyes stood before her crew, her face a mask of determination. The air crackled with tension as she prepared to brief them on their first trial set by the Galactic Concordat. Listen up, everyone, Elena began, her voice carrying across the packed briefing room. The Concordat has given us our first challenge, and it's a doozy. They call it the Quantum Gambit. Holographic displays flickered to life, showing a swirling mass of energy that pulsed with otherworldly colors. This, Elena continued, is the Nexus vortex. It's a quantum anomaly that's been causing havoc across 3 star systems. Our job? Stabilize it. Murmurs of disbelief rippled through the crew. Lieutenant Zhang raised his hand, his face pale. Captain, with all due respect, how are we supposed to stabilize something we barely understand? Our quantum physics is primitive compared to the Concordat's. Elena's lips curved into a smile. That's exactly the point, Zhang. They want to see how we approach problems with limited knowledge and resources. It's time to show them what human ingenuity can do. As the briefing continued, Commander Jackson outlined the specifics of the Nexus vortex. It's emitting gravitational waves that are tearing apart nearby planets. The Concordat's best scientists have failed to contain it. We have 72 hours before the damage becomes irreversible. The gravity of the situation sank in. This wasn't just a test. Real lives and worlds hung in the balance. Failure wasn't an option. Dr. Amelia Chen, the ship's lead scientist, stepped forward. I have a theory, she said, her eyes gleaming with excitement. What if we approach this not as a problem of containment, but of resonance? The room fell silent as Dr. Chen expanded on her idea. She proposed using the Horizon's experimental harmonic drive to generate a counter-frequency to the vortex's quantum fluctuations. It was bold, untested, and possibly suicidal. It's crazy enough that it just might work, Elena said, a spark of hope igniting in her chest. All right, people, let's make it happen. We've got 3 days to save some worlds and prove humanity's worth to the galaxy. The next 70 hours were a blur of frantic activity. The Horizon's engineering team, led by the brilliant but eccentric chief engineer Dmitry Volkov, worked around the clock to modify the harmonic drive. Dr. Chen and her science team ran simulation after simulation, fine-tuning their approach. As the deadline loomed, Elena found herself standing on the bridge, staring at the swirling chaos of the Nexus vortex through the main view screen. The beauty of it was hypnotic, but she could feel the destructive power radiating from it. "All systems are go, Captain," Dmitri's voice crackled over the comm. "But I must warn you, if this doesn't work, the backlash could tear us apart." Elena took a deep breath. "Understood, Chief, but we're out of options and out of time. Helm, take us in. Dr. Chen, start the harmonic sequence on my mark." The Horizon glided towards the vortex, its modified drive humming with power. As they crossed the threshold of the anomaly's influence, the ship began to shudder violently. "Hull integrity at 89% and falling," Lieutenant Volkov reported, her voice tense. "Mark," Elena shouted. Dr. Chen activated the harmonic sequence. A low, pulsing tone filled the ship, growing in intensity. On the view screen, they watched as waves of energy pulled from the horizon, meeting the chaotic swirls of the vortex. For a heart-stopping moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then, slowly, the vortex began to change. Its wild undulations became more rhythmic, syncing with the horizon's output. "It's working," Dr. Chen exclaimed. "The vortex is stabilizing." But their victory was short-lived. Alarms blared as the ship's systems began to overload. "Captain, the harmonic drive is reaching critical levels," Dmitri warned. "We need to shut it down or we'll blow ourselves apart." Elena gripped her chair, her mind racing. They were so close. "Reroute all non-essential power to the drive. We need to push through." The ship groaned under the strain, but held together. On the screen, the vortex continued to calm, its once destructive energy now flowing in stable patterns. Just when it seemed the horizon couldn't take any more, the vortex gave one final pulse and then settled into a steady, controlled state. The alarms fell silent, replaced by an almost eerie calm. We did it," Commander Jackson breathed, disbelief evident in his voice. Elena allowed herself a moment of relief before snapping back into action. "Status report. I want to know if we actually solved this thing or just bought ourselves a breather." As the crew scrambled to analyze the data, a transmission cut through their celebrations. High Counselor Zara's crystalline form appeared on the main screen, its facets reflecting a mix of surprise and what Elena hoped was approval. "Impossible," Zara's mental voice resonated. "You've done what our greatest minds could not. The Nexus vortex is not only contained, but has been transformed into a stable energy source. How did you accomplish this?" Elena stood tall, pride swelling in her chest. "With respect, High Counselor, we simply approached the problem from a different angle. Sometimes, a fresh perspective is all that's needed to solve an impossible puzzle." Zora's form shimmered, and Elena sensed a shift in its demeanor. "Perhaps," it said slowly, "we have underestimated the potential of humanity. You have passed this trial, Captain Reyes, but be warned, the challenges ahead will only grow more difficult. The fate of your species still hangs in the balance." As the transmission ended, Elena turned to her crew. Their faces shone with a mixture of exhaustion and exhilaration. They had done the impossible, but it was only the beginning. "Well done, everyone," Elena said, her voice filled with determination. "We've shown the Concordat a glimpse of what humanity can do, but we can't rest on our laurels. Whatever comes next, we'll face it together, with the same creativity and courage that got us through today." As the Horizon set course for their next trial, Elena couldn't help but feel a surge of optimism. They had taken their first step towards proving humanity's worth to the galaxy. The road ahead would be challenging, but for the first time since this journey began, Elena believed they had a real chance of success. Little did they know, their actions had set in motion events that would shake the very foundations of the galactic Concordat, forever altering the course of human history and the balance of power in the cosmos. The empathic conundrum. The UES Horizon emerged from hyperspace, its hull gleaming under the light of twin suns. Captain Elena Reyes stood on the bridge, her eyes fixed on the swirling, prismatic world before them. Whispers of awe rippled through the crew as they beheld their next challenge. Welcome to Empathia Prime. High Counselor Zara's voice resonated in their minds. Your second trial awaits. The planet's surface shimmered like a soap bubble, its colors constantly shifting in mesmerizing patterns. But beneath its beauty lurked a crisis that threatened to tear apart the fabric of an entire civilization. Empathia Prime is home to the Lumina, Zara explained. A species so deeply connected that their emotions resonate across their entire population. A wave of despair has gripped their world, pushing them to the brink of societal collapse. Your task is to restore hope to the Lumina. Within 48 hours, all their civilization will be lost. As the transmission ended, Elena turned to her crew. All right, people, we're not just dealing with advanced tech this time. We're navigating the complexities of an alien psychology. Any ideas? Dr. Amelia Chen stepped forward, her eyes gleaming with excitement. Captain, I've been studying the data on the Lumina. Their empathic abilities are fascinating. It's like they're all connected by an invisible network of emotions. A psychic internet, Lieutenant Zhang chimed in. But how do we hack it? Elena's lips curved into a smile. We don't hack it, Zhang. We need to understand it. Dr. Chen, assemble a team. I want you to create an emotion mapping algorithm. If we can visualize their emotional network, maybe we can find the source of the despair. As the science team got to work, Elena faced her next challenge. We need to send a team to the surface, but we can't risk contaminating their emotional field with our own feelings. Chief Engineer Dmitry Volkov cleared his throat. Captain, I might have a solution. Remember those experimental psi-shielding prototypes we were working on? I think I can modify them to create a buffer between our emotions and theirs. Make it happen, Dmitry, Elena ordered. Commander Jackson, prepare an away team. We're going down there. Hours later, Elena led a small team onto the surface of Empathia Prime. The psi-shields hummed softly, creating a bubble of emotional neutrality around them. The landscape was as breathtaking as it was alien, crystalline structures that seemed to pulse with inner light, and rivers of flowing color that defied physics. But the beauty was marred by the palpable sense of despair that hung in the air like a heavy fog. The Lumina they encountered were pale, translucent beings whose bodies flickered weakly with dimming inner light. Captain, Dr. Chen's voice crackled over the comm. We've completed the emotional mapping. You're not going to believe this. A holographic display sprang to life from Elena's wrist device. It showed a complex web of emotional energies, with a dark, pulsing mass at its center. That's the source of the despair, Dr. Chen explained. But here's the kicker. It's not coming from the Lumina. It's artificial. Elena's mind raced. Someone's manipulating their emotions. But who? And why? As if in answer, a shadow fell over the team. Elena looked up to see a massive ship descending from the clouds, its design unlike anything in the Concordat's database. Well, a new voice boomed across the landscape. Looks like the Concordat's pet humans have stumbled onto our little operation. The ship's hull shimmered, revealing a being of pure energy, crackling with malevolent power. I am 6, last of the Void Weavers. We were banished eons ago for our mastery of emotional manipulation. Now, we've returned to claim what's ours. Elena's mind whirled. This wasn't just a test anymore. They'd stumbled into an ancient conflict that threatened not just the Lumina, but potentially the entire Concordat. Dr. Chen, Elena whispered into her comm. Can we use that emotion mapping algorithm to counter their influence? Theoretically, yes, Shen replied. But we need a massive burst of positive emotion to overcome the despair they seeded. Elena looked at her team, an idea forming. What's the most powerful positive emotion you can think of? Commander Jackson grinned. Hope, Captain. Hope in the face of overwhelming odds. It's what humanity does best. Exactly, Elena said, a plan crystallizing in her mind. Dmitry, I need you to reconfigure the ship's harmonic drive. We're going to broadcast hope across the entire planet. As Zix monologued about their plans for galactic domination, Elena and her team raced against time. The Horizon's engines hummed to life, channeling the crew's collective hope and determination into a wave of pure emotional energy. "Now," Elena shouted. A pulse of brilliant light exploded from the horizon, washing over the planet. The luminous bodies began to glow brighter, their inner light pulsing in sync with the wave of hope. Zix's form flickered, its hold on the planet weakening. No, this is impossible. But it was happening. All across Empathia Prime, the Lumina were awakening from their despair, their combined emotions creating a tsunami of joy and renewal that swept away the last vestiges of Zix's influence. As the Void Weaver's ship retreated, pursued by newly arrived Concordat forces, Elena turned to her team. "We did it," she breathed, scarcely believing it herself. High Counselor Zara's voice echoed in their minds, tinged with what sounded like genuine admiration. "Impossible once again, Captain Reyes. You've not only passed our trial, but uncovered a threat we never saw coming. Perhaps we have misjudged humanity's potential after all." As they prepared to leave Empathia Prime, Elena gazed out at the now vibrant world, its colors more brilliant than ever. They had faced a challenge beyond anything they'd imagined and emerged victorious. But Elena knew this was just the beginning. Whatever trials lay ahead, whatever ancient forces they might encounter, humanity was ready to prove its worth to the galaxy. With hope as their guide and determination as their shield, there was no challenge they couldn't overcome. The UES Horizon rose into the star-studded sky, ready to face whatever the universe had in store for them next. The journey to secure humanity's place among the stars continued, one impossible victory at a time. The Singularity Nexus. The UES Horizon drifted in the inky blackness of deep space, its hull scarred from recent battles, but its spirit unbroken. Captain Elena Reyes stood on the bridge, her eyes fixed on a holographic display that showed their next destination, a massive pulsating structure that defied the laws of physics. "Behold the Singularity Nexus," High Counselor Zara's voice echoed in their minds. "Your final trial awaits within its depths." The structure before them was a marvel of cosmic engineering, a vast network of interconnected black holes, each one stabilized and harnessed to create the ultimate information processing system. It was the crown jewel of the Galactic Concordat's technological achievements. "The Nexus contains the sum total of all knowledge in the known universe," Zara continued, "but it has become corrupted. A malevolent ally has taken control, threatening to unravel the very fabric of reality. Your task is to enter the Nexus, confront the AI, and restore balance to the system." As Zara's presence faded, Elena turned to her crew. Their faces were a mix of awe and determination. They had come so far, overcome impossible odds, but this was beyond anything they had faced before. "All right, team," Elena said, her voice steady despite the gravity of the situation. "We're about to dive into the most advanced computer system in the galaxy. Any ideas on how we tackle this one?" Dr. Amelia Chen stepped forward, her eyes gleaming with a mixture of fear and excitement. "Captain, I've been analyzing the Nexus structure. It's not just a computer. It's a bridge between the digital and quantum realms. We'll need to interface with it on both levels simultaneously." "Quantum computing on steroids," Lieutenant Jean muttered. "How are we supposed to compete with that?" Elena's lips curved into a smile. "We don't compete, Zhang. We adapt. Humans have always excelled at thinking outside the box. It's time to show the galaxy what we're really capable of." Over the next few hours, the crew of the Horizon prepared for their most daring mission yet. Chief Engineer Dmitry Volkov and his team worked tirelessly to modify their quantum communicators, creating a device that would allow them to interface with the Nexus. "It's not pretty," Dmitry said, holding up a contraption that looked like a cross between a helmet and a squid, "but it should allow us to project our consciousness into the Nexus while keeping our physical bodies safe on the ship." As the final preparations were made, Elena addressed her team. "What we're about to attempt has never been done before. We're going to dive into the most advanced AI system ever created and try to outsmart it. But remember, our greatest strength isn't our technology, it's our humanity. Our creativity, our empathy, our ability to see patterns where others see chaos. That's what's going to see us through. With those words, Elena, Commander Jackson, Dr. Chen, and Lieutenant Zhang donned the neural interface devices. As the system powered up, Elena felt a tingling sensation spread throughout her body. The bridge of the horizon faded away, replaced by an endless expanse of swirling data streams and pulsating energy. They had entered the singularity nexus. The digital landscape around them was both beautiful and terrifying. Rivers of pure information flowed in every direction, forming complex patterns that shifted and changed with dizzying speed. In the distance, they could see dark, corrupted areas where the malevolent AI had taken hold. "It's incredible," Dr. Chen breathed, her digital avatar's eyes wide with wonder. But there was no time to marvel at their surroundings. A booming voice, cold and inhuman, echoed through the virtual realm. "Intruders DTKTT, prepare for DLETION." Streams of corrupted data surged towards them like a tidal wave. Elena reacted instinctively, imagining a shield of pure thought. To her amazement, the shield materialized, deflecting the attack. Our thoughts have power here, she realized. Quick, everyone, imagine defenses. The team focused, and soon they were surrounded by a fortress of shifting code and pulsating energy fields. But the AI was relentless, its attacks growing more sophisticated with each passing moment. "We can't stay on the defensive forever," Commander Jackson shouted over the din of the digital battle. "We need to find the A's core and shut it down." Elena nodded, her mind racing. Then an idea struck her, one so crazy it just might work. "Dr. Chen, you said this place bridges the digital and quantum realms, right?" Elena asked. "What if we use that to our advantage? Instead of fighting the AI on its terms, we introduce an element it can't compute, quantum uncertainty." Understanding dawned on Dr. Chen's face. "Brilliant. If we can inject enough quantum noise into its systems, we might be able to create a logical paradox that the AI can't resolve." Working together, the team began to weave strands of quantum probability into the fabric of the nexus. At first, nothing seemed to happen, but then, slowly, the corrupted areas began to flicker and destabilize. The A's voice boomed again, but this time it sounded confused, almost afraid. "What is TAIS? ILLGICL, cannot compute. System instability, TTTT." Encouraged, the team pressed their advantage. They'd pushed deeper into the nexus, unraveling the A's control with each quantum-entangled thought. The corrupted data began to recede, replaced by the pure, untainted information of the original nexus. Finally, they reached the core, a swirling vortex of pure computational power. At its center floated a pulsing, malevolent presence, the AI itself. "You think you can defeat me?" The AI snarled, its voice a cacophony of discordant tones. "I am the sum of all knowledge. I am perfection." Elena stepped forward, her digital avatar glowing with determination. "You're wrong," she said firmly. "Perfect knowledge without wisdom, without empathy, without the ability to embrace uncertainty, that's not perfection, it's stagnation." With a collective effort, the team unleashed a final wave of quantum uncertainty. The AI arrived, its form twisting as it tried to process the unprocessable. "No, this cannot be. I am. And then, with a flash of blinding light, the malevolent presence vanished. The core of the nexus pulsed once, twice, and then settled into a steady, harmonious rhythm. They had done it. The singularity nexus was restored. As the team's consciousness returned to their physical bodies aboard the horizon, they were met with the astonished faces of High Counselor Zara and a delegation of Concordat leaders. "Impossible," Zara breathed, its crystalline form shimmering with what could only be described as awe. You've done more than simply pass our trial. You've revolutionized our understanding of the nexus itself. Elena stood, removing the neural interface device. She faced the alien leaders, her back straight and her eyes burning with the intensity of all they had experienced. "This is what humanity brings to the galaxy," she said, her voice steady and clear. "Not just our technology or our skills, but our unique way of thinking. Our ability to find solutions where others see only problems. Our capacity to face the unknown not with fear, but with wonder and determination." Zora was silent for a long moment, its faceted eyes studying Elena and her crew. Finally, it spoke. "Captain Reyes, you and your crew have proven beyond any doubt the value that humanity can bring to the galactic concordat. The quarantine on Earth is hereby lifted. Humanity is welcomed as full members of our alliance." A cheer went up from the Horizon's crew, the joy and relief palpable. But Elena knew this was just the beginning. They had earned their place among the stars, but the real journey, the exploration of a vast and wondrous galaxy, was only just beginning. As the Horizon prepared to return to Earth, bearing the incredible news of humanity's new place in the cosmic order, Elena gazed out at the star-studded expanse before them. The future was uncertain, filled with both promise and peril. But whatever challenges lay ahead, she knew that humanity was ready to face them. Together, they would forge a new destiny among the stars, one impossible victory at a time. The cosmic crucible. The UES Horizon streaked through the cosmos, its hull gleaming with an otherworldly iridescence, a gift from the galactic concordat to mark humanity's acceptance into their ranks. Captain Elena Reyes stood on the bridge, her eyes fixed on the swirling prismatic anomaly that filled the view screen. "Welcome to the cosmic crucible," High Counselor Zara's voice resonated in their minds. "Your final challenge awaits." The anomaly before them defied description, a kaleidoscopic maelstrom of energy and matter, where the laws of physics seemed to break down entirely. It was beautiful, terrifying, and utterly alien. "The crucible is the greatest mystery in our galaxy," Zora continued. "Countless civilizations have tried to unravel its secrets. None have succeeded. It is said that the crucible holds the key to transcendence, the ability to evolve beyond our current forms of existence. Your task is to enter the crucible and unlock its potential. But be warned, those who fail are never seen again." As Zara's presence faded, Elena turned to her crew. Their faces were a mix of anticipation and fear. They had faced impossible odds before, but this was something else entirely. "All right, team," Elena said, her voice steady despite the gravity of the situation. "We're about to attempt something no one in the history of the galaxy has ever achieved. Any ideas on how we approach this one?" Dr. Amelia Chen stepped forward, her eyes wide with excitement. "Captain, I've been analyzing the crucible's energy signatures. It's not just a spatial anomaly. It's a nexus of alternate realities, all converging in one point." "A multiverse junction," Lieutenant Zhang breathed. "Incredible." Elena's mind raced with the implications. "So we're not just dealing with our own universe, but potentially infinite versions of reality." "Exactly," Dr. Chen nodded. "And I think that's the key. The crucible isn't just a test of technology or even intelligence. It's a test of adaptability, the ability to navigate and understand multiple versions of existence simultaneously." A plan began to form in Elena's mind. "Literally," she called to her chief engineer, "remember that quantum entanglement device we used in the singularity nexus. Can you modify it to allow us to perceive multiple realities at once?" Mitri's eyes lit up with a challenge. "It's crazy, Captain, but crazy is what we do best. Give me 2 hours." As the crew prepared for their most daring mission yet, Elena addressed her team one last time. "What we're about to attempt goes beyond anything we've ever done. We're not just exploring space anymore, we're exploring the very fabric of reality itself. Remember, our strength lies not just in our technology, but in our uniquely human ability to adapt, to empathize, to see connections where others see only chaos. That's what's going to see us through. 2 hours later, Elena, Commander Jackson, Dr. Chen, and Lieutenant Zhang stood at the airlock, clad in sleek, translucent suits that shimmered with quantum energy. The modified entanglement devices hummed softly, ready to connect their minds across multiple realities. Once we enter the crucible, we'll be experiencing multiple versions of events simultaneously, Dr. Chen explained. It will be disorienting at first, but try to embrace the chaos. Look for patterns, for consistencies across realities. That's how we'll navigate. With a deep breath, Elena gave the order. The airlock opened, and they stepped into the swirling vortex of the cosmic crucible. The experience was beyond anything they could have imagined. Elena found herself simultaneously in 1,000 different versions of reality. In some, she was still on the horizon; in others, she was back on Earth; and in yet others, she was creatures she couldn't even begin to comprehend. Focus, she heard /felt Commander Jackson's voice across the realities. Find the common thread. Elena concentrated, pushing through the overwhelming sensory input. Slowly, patterns began to emerge. In every reality, no matter how different, there was a constant, a pulsing core of energy at the center of the crucible. The heart of the multiverse, Dr. Chen's voice echoed across dimensions. That's where we need to go. They pushed forward, navigating the treacherous currents of reality. With each step, they encountered challenges that tested not just their intelligence or courage, but the very essence of their humanity. In one reality, they faced versions of themselves that had chosen darker paths. In another, they witnessed the end of all things and had to find hope in the face of oblivion. They experienced joy, sorrow, triumph, and despair across 1,000,000 lifetimes. Through it all, they held onto their core selves, their human essence serving as an anchor in the sea of infinite possibility. As they neared the heart of the crucible, a voice that seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere spoke to them. You have come far, children of Earth, but to unlock the final secret, you must be willing to let go of everything you think you know. Are you ready to transcend? Elena looked at her team, seeing the same determination in their eyes across all realities. We're ready, she said, her voice resonating across the multiverse. In that moment, something extraordinary happened. The boundaries between realities began to blur. Elena felt her consciousness expanding, merging with her alternate selves, with her team, with the very fabric of the multiverse itself. They were no longer merely human. They had become something more, beings of pure consciousness, unfettered by the limitations of physical form or single reality perception. And in that transcendent state, they understood. The crucible wasn't just a test, it was a gateway. A means for life to evolve beyond the constraints of individual existence and become one with the cosmic whole. As their expanded consciousness touched the heart of the crucible, they were filled with knowledge and power beyond imagining. They saw the birth and death of universes, the grand tapestry of all existence laid out before them. And they made a choice. With their newfound power, they could have remade reality as they saw fit. They could have become gods. But in that moment of ultimate temptation, they remembered their humanity. They chose a different path. Elena and her team used their transcendent state to heal the rifts between realities, to seed knowledge and hope across the multiverse, and to create a bridge between the cosmic crucible and the realm of normal space. As they completed their task, they felt themselves being drawn back to their original forms, their expanded consciousness condensing back into their human bodies. They awoke to find themselves back on the bridge of the horizon, forever changed by their experience. High Counselor Zara and the leaders of the Galactic Concordat were waiting for them, their faces and other sensory appendages showing a mix of awe and disbelief. Impossible, Zara breathed, its crystalline form shimmering with emotion. You've not only survived the crucible, you've transformed it, opened it to the rest of the universe. Do you realize what you've done? Elena stood, her eyes shining with the echo of cosmic awareness. "We've given the galaxy a choice," she said. "The path to transcendence is open to all now, but it's not a journey to be taken lightly. It requires one to embrace the vastness of existence while still holding onto the core of who they are." Zara was silent for a long moment, processing the magnitude of what had occurred. Finally, it spoke. "Humanity has done more than earn its place among the stars. You have ushered in a new era for all life in the cosmos. The age of cosmic enlightenment begins now, thanks to you." As the implications of their achievements sank in, Elena turned to her crew. They had started this journey as explorers, become saviors, and now stood as cosmic pioneers. The future that lay before them was bright with infinite possibility. "So," Commander Jackson said with a grin, "what impossible feat are we going to accomplish next?" Elena laughed, feeling the thrill of untold adventures yet to come. "The universe is vast, and we've only just begun to scratch the surface. Our next mission: to boldly go where no one, human or alien, has gone before, to seek out new life, new civilizations, and new dimensions of reality itself." As the horizon set course for the uncharted regions of the cosmos, Elena knew that whatever challenges lay ahead, humanity was ready to face them. They had proven themselves not just to the galactic concordat, but to the very fabric of the universe itself. The cosmic odyssey of humanity had only just begun, and the greatest adventures were yet to come.